Hey everybody, welcome to I Am Games, the least on-brand live streaming show on Twitch.tv today.
I think every time we don't feel like having the camera set up and communicating us, they just make a 3D model of a t-shirt and have it like revolve in the corner of the screen constantly.
That's a great idea.
It was fun to do it. Very cool.
We're doing TIMESPLITTERS 2 today.
Hell yeah. This is a game that I think a lot of people played these back when they came out, and everybody loved them.
Out of the darkness they came with a hateful will.
But on account of the fact that there has not been a new TIMESPLITTERS game
fought
since
long
the
and
PS2
hard,
era,
but now we are
it didn't
lost,
really make it
for
on
they
the
have
internet
taken
in a
their
big way.
evil war into our past.
And I think that's gonna
Traveling
change
through
with apparently
time, they have
THQ.
sown corruption, unraveling the fabric of our history.
This is
Our last chances to strike back.
Holy shit!
Seize the time
Oh, you didn't? I thought you told me about that.
No, I had no idea they bought it recently.
Yeah, THQ Nordic
Survival has
just
begun.
back in August bought the rights to both TIMESPLITTERs and Second Sight.
Clear to go. Proceed as planned and good luck.
So one of the things, before we even get too deep into this, I think the animation in this game holds up really well. So I played this a couple months ago, and I distinctly remember like the facial expressions, just the way the characters move, to like not look like that stilted early PS2 stuff. Like it still looks, and the way the characters are like cartoonish, the facial expressions still come in really well. It's not like garbage stuff. There's like a specific, like the first level when you go to Siberia, the facial expression and that cutscene are just like on point.
Apparently the game audio is much louder than us.
Is it really?
Despite the fact that we can't hear the game audio at all. Test. Test. Ours is also kind of quiet. You can turn up the actual the knob on the box. No, that one. Yeah, it's like the tiniest little amount. Hello, test.
Oh god, that's way too.
What?
We're clipping the mic like a motherfucker. Hey, try again.
Test.
I think that's
Test. Hello.
People can let us know if it's so
Fucking gamers and your inability to work OBS. First of all, we're not even using OBS. So you can fuck off with that. I know how to use OBS. We're using Game Capture HD, the proprietary software of the Elgato Game Capture.
This isn't even the newest one, because I had to get the one that still works with Windows 7.
Oh, well, you don't want the newest one because it doesn't have a... Well, actually, it would have been fine because now we're running this through a fucking conversion box from whatever the fuck. But
Alright, we're going to Siberia.
the newest models don't have AV ports.
Boo.
What difficulty should we play?
So the interesting thing about TIMESPLITTERS 2 is that the levels change depending on your difficulty. Like there's total parts of like the geometry that's just cut out on easy mode. So you can blow through the game like on easy in like half the time.
Wow.
And then on hard mode, I think some of the side objectives become mandatory, so you have to get them done. So the game's very different depending on the difficulty. So I say we do normal because that's like a good balance between the two things. There's like story. I never read these though. There's like things that go on. We're going back to the 90s.
Yeah. What was it literally? It said Siberia 1990, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, if there's any relevant event of I mean, I guess the Berlin Wall fell that year, right?
I think so. It was like kind of tail end of Cold War things. All right, so like this cutscene in particular, I think is still animated incredibly well for a PS2 game.
I am inclined to agree already.
Like,
We shouldn't be
So,
in the research
hopefully you guys, well, I guess we know that you guys can hear the game. We can't, and we don't know why.
find out.
I mean, this is like a common problem with the Elgato that me and Victor used to have on DigiBros, but incidentally, there will probably be a little bit less chat activity this time because we're playing co-op.
yeah, so me and Digi are both gonna be playing this.
Yeah, we're actually both games. Oh, we forgot to fucking make it so it's coming through mono audio.
It's not down mixing? Every other
Apparently.
time we've done this, it's automatically down mixed.
Well, this is the new PC.
I guess, but I hadn't set up that way.
Test.
Now it should be fine. That might have been why we were quieter. It was only coming through one channel.
Yeah, let us know if we're coming through both channels now. We figured out, because on the last stream, the reason our last stream was so late compared to when it was supposed to be is that we set up a streaming PC, but it didn't work. Mysteriously, it wouldn't pick up the microphone. And then we found out that apparently that's because we were doing remote desktop. And just for whatever reason, whatever unknown reason, if you're remote desktoping, then it just doesn't pick up the audio. It doesn't it literally doesn't make sense.
It's really stupid.
I can't think of any logic for why that would be the case. If you are someone who knows computers very well, don't tell me what you think might be the reason. If you know the reason, let me know.
I tried going into the remote desktop settings and enabling audio, and I can hear the audio, but I still can't see any of the devices. So I can't, since the remote desktop thinks no audio devices are connected, even though the actual computer detects everything, I can't choose the microphone in Elgato because the remote connection says there's no audio. It's really stupid. It's dumb, it's retarded, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
All right, so it should turn to split screen right here. There we go. All right. Oh dear. So this is an old game, so automatically I need to change the controls because it's inverted, and I'm not having that shit. Inverse look
Okay, we
off.
can both controls. Oh boy, what is this? Okay. Configuration classic main options.
Just go back.
How do
I don't know.
classic B? Oh wait, where are you at?
I went to a different screen than you, clearly.
Oh, preferences.
Yeah.
As opposed to controls.
Yeah, just turn on.
Auto aim. Is that gonna be like necessary?
It's just like aim assist.
Well,
all right, let's continue.
yes. I've only ever played this game as like
So you took both of the guns, so I do not have a gun anymore. It is all up to you to fucking get us through this first area.
How do you, what is that? What's that on the gun?
Oh wait,
Yeah,
I got a
there you
sign.
go.
I got
You
a science
fucking-
pistol.
you got a
Okay,
gun.
you got the good gun.
All right, how do I scope with this?
All right, so we're in a stealth section that you just blew immediately.
What?
So now we're gonna have to
I was trying
fight
to figure
more
out how to
guys.
scope, but I was just pressing all the buttons.
I think it's L2, I believe.
It is, and also it's fucking weird.
Yeah, this is we're still in the first person transitional period
How
on
do I
console
switch
games.
guns?
I think it's D-pad.
Okay, you're right. I seem to have switched to nothing.
You might not have another gun.
No, I have one. It just
All right, you got the.
there was a bit of nothing in between the two options. Ooh, there's no.
Oh, you can
reticule.
switch to fists. Yeah, if you hold down R2, it switches to aim mode, kind of like GoldenEye.
Hold down what?
L2.
Oh, L2. You said R2, and it made me show. R1 and R2 are both just fire gun.
Some guns do have a secondary fire mode.
Ah. Is there a jump button?
There is no jump button.
Okay. I keep, like, my instinct is to press X to jump to get over these gaps, and, like,
Yeah, no,
it's not doing
We're
it.
not doing that shit. Not. All right, X is to interact with objects and stuff. So I'm gonna switch this camera off so we don't keep getting spotted.
So I was just looking up the history of the Time Splitters games and learned that basically it was the team from Rareware who made the GoldenEye and Perfect Dark games. They fucking made their own studio and they made the same game, but it was Time Splitters now.
Did you pick up the mines?
I don't know. I just opened a door.
All right. Well, we need to throw the time mines up on that.
I got some sniper ammo.
We can kill each other, by the way. There is friendly fire enabled. So.
This is I'm currently being fascinated because this is not how I. First of all, this is not how I thought of Time Splitters as being played. Because as I was gonna say, the only time I've ever played this was like just the multi mode, like like free for all deathmatch battle mode. I've never played the actual game. So I didn't realize that it was like that it literally is GoldenEye.
Yeah, it's pretty much all it is.
And also, I forgot what it's like to play old first-person shooters before the control scheme was standardized.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm getting shot. Oh, you know what? There's a sniper over there. That's why. There's and I don't have a sniper rifle, so I can't do anything about it. So I'm just gonna have to keep getting hit.
Can I break this box?
You can, but I believe it'll blow up and it'll hurt you.
Oh.
This is old school barrels and crates.
Yeah.
So can you cycle through and see if you have timed mines? Because we cannot progress further in the game until we destroy. You do. Okay, you need to come back.
Oh. Well, I mean, I've been progressing through the game. Thank you very much.
I mean, we can keep going, but we will fail the level even if we complete it if we do not blow up this thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to just redo the whole level, it's fine.
Home. Coming home. I've walked up a lot of stairs.
All right, it's cool.
Considerable number of stairs.
All right, so there's two things that you can do. The first thing is if you look up with the sniper rifle up all the way to that window over there, there's a sniper that's going to keep taking pot shots at us until you kill them with the sniper.
Wait, where are you seeing this?
Up there. See that little kind of blur?
Motherfucker?
Yeah. Like over in the window. Like in that window.
It is so hard to control this fucking thing.
So there's a dude up there.
Did I fucking get him? I can't even tell.
Well, you could hear the sound effect of the bullet hitting somebody if we had sound.
Yeah.
Which we do not.
Let me know in the chat if I hit that guy.
Okay, and the other thing you need to do is you need to take out the timed mines. Come over here and throw them on that satellite and blow it to fuck. So just throw a couple of them, and then I believe the secondary fire button is to detonate the remote mines.
Nope, it just... Oh,
no,
well...
It just does automatically. There we did. We did it. We got the communications dish. We can continue going where you were.
Sick fucking tits. I'm so glad that we're playing co-op and you can teach me how to be games.
Well... I'm not teaching you how to be games, because we're already games. Watch out for the steam, by the way.
I've hit it 3 times. I don't know how to... Is there like a duck button?
I believe there is. I don't remember what it is, though. Oh, it's L1. Hold it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
you
no,
don't even have to
toggle.
hold it. You just press it and you're fucking a ground boy. Was that guy...
It was a bad guy.
It was a bad guy.
I shot him in the ass.
They look a lot like us.
Well, it's because we have, every time we go to another world, we inhabit the body of someone who is in that period. So we're both Russians right now.
I like they have hit detection on like body parts.
Yeah, but everything about this game is just animated really well.
Yeah.
Like this, like stagger and stuff was not
like
a thing.
Grenade gun?
You have an AK with a grenade launcher now. Yes.
Oh.
Alright, so you can kill people. I'm gonna turn off the steam.
So R1 is the secondary fire button.
Yeah.
Okay. I've just been pressing R1 to fire because it didn't make a difference before, but...
Alright, so we need to hit X. You have to reduce the steam so we can get past this thing. Okay. I think there's a third one somewhere.
Would this be getting communicated to us like audially if we had sound? Because I don't... What
Not
how
really.
Are we supposed to know that?
Oh, steam pressure just went up.
When did we learn that information? Was that like on a dossier at the start or something?
No, you just kind of have to figure it out.
Mm.
It's one of those like not clear old style games. All right, we clear the pressure. Now we can keep going. We would have gotten a cutscene, a little like insert window that would have showed the steam turning off.
Mm.
But since we're in multiplayer, I'm assuming it's probably like, you guys already know this game, right?
Yeah, that seems to be how old school co-op was.
Can I say another thing that's really impressive about this right now? We're running on PlayStation 2, split screen, and it's still running at full 60 FPS.
Yeah, it looks smooth as fuck, and we're fast as fuck too. Like, yeah. I appreciate the like Doom running speed of this game.
Like, this is such an amazingly optimized
game. As a Doomer, I appreciate anything Doom-esque.
Look out for the Doomer shirts coming soon.
We should fucking do that. I
will definitely make a Doomer shirt. Alright, there's going to be another sniper up here. And watch out for that camera, which we already triggered. So now they're going to come find us again. It's fine, though. We got 2 guns, so we can hold our own.
Yeah. Fuck you, boys. Hell yeah. Alright, I'm starting to fucking feel it, dude.
It's good, dude. You're about to die. You don't have a lot of HP.
Is there a way for me to check how much HP I currently have other than getting shot?
Maybe.
Is that you that I'm shooting
Yes, you
at?
are shooting me.
There's a guy next to you to your left.
Not anymore.
Fuck you, big boy. That's hilarious.
Oh,
It's a good
there's more,
tactic.
dude.
I shot a grenade in there, so.
Hell yeah. I got a headshot. Time crystal located.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh, them bullets.
I can feel it still.
Alright, we can open this door, I believe. I don't know if there's anything in here.
It's a bathroom, dude. Let's take a fucking shit in here. Let's take a fucking shower together. Let's fucking
Yeah.
get real gay in the showers together. It's important to our lore. Yes, the showers. That's where we belong. It's where my people come from.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be like, there's a side objective to destroy these documents, but we already fucked that up, so.
Who shot me?
All these bastards.
Wherefore art thou, guy who shot me? There you are, you fuck boy. Unguard, fuck boy.
I don't know why these cameras don't die. They usually die in a few hits, but I guess not in multiplayer or something.
I am having the fun. I wish there was audio though.
The audio in this game is really good. The music in this level kicks ass. The guns sound great.
Why are you teasing me with these possibilities of what we could be experiencing?
Well, you, like all of our fair viewers, can always watch this again on the replay we'll put up on YouTube.
That's true. If you didn't know, all of the I Am Games live streams are uploaded to the channel in the playlist tab. I went back the way I came from.
Alright.
This, so all of the cutscenes in this game were giving me like very hardcore Ratchet and Clank vibes. But something about this room gives me really hardcore Halo 1 vibes.
Yeah, this game was like this in the
Or
first
even
game.
actually Halo 2 vibes more like.
Where actually it's because that first level in Halo 2 has like staircases like this looking into windowed rooms.
That's why it was giving me that vibe.
Like when you're fighting the Covenant through the windows, when you're going
I've
through
played
that.
fucking Halo 2. I got a system disc.
Alright,
Wait, did it say acquired or required?
Required. We need to go in through there and get the system disc. So if you, I believe there should be a switch up here to open the door.
That thing said system
There we
disc
go.
required.
Alright. So we need to go back down there and get the system disc.
Alright.
Alright, we're about to find a new kind of enemy in here.
See, what's great about moving super fast is that even if you fuck up and feel retarded, you can just run and then you feel better. You're just like, yeah, well, you know, I might have gone the wrong way, but I got back really fast. I got a time crystal.
You did get the time crystal.
I guess that was one of our objectives
It
because
was.
it gave us a complete.
Alright, we need to go.
Someone asked Tom if Digi keeps triggering the camera that he keeps blatantly running in front of. Does it spawn more enemies?
Nah, usually it does, but I think once you kill them all, you're pretty much good. So.
Okay, was there anything else down here? Well, how are you doing that? Did you hack a camera?
I just like went into a control room and you can see some of the cameras. I'm turning them off.
Is there anything up here other than the time crystal, or am I just?
We have to go into this next part. So where are you right now? Are you still in the time crystal room?
Yeah, I'm still in the cave.
All right, so
I assumed there would be more.
come find me. See, you turn around.
What is this place?
We can open that up later.
Well, let me get this fucking box of ammo here.
All right. So we need to go in here. I turned off most of the cameras with the Gatling guns attached, so we don't get instantly destroyed. But I believe we hit this switch, that'll open up the door, and then this guy's gonna start shooting at us. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
get him. That's you.
Oh. Ancient Chinese. Alright.
Alright. Now we can go in here. Got the tactical 12 gauge shotgun.
I literally feel like I'm like playing with the older brother I never had.
Well, I'll be your older brother in spirit.
Instructing me everything, every single step of the way. My fucking like stupid dumb ass, who is firing fucking grenades because I forgot that R1 is not the primary fire button.
So So we got those.
You are old enough to be my older brother, actually.
It's true.
I always forget. It's funny because, you know, as an adult, you like anywhere in your 20s, it's just you're in your 20s. But like, had we met when we were younger, the age difference between us would have been like distinctive.
Yeah, it's very weird. As you get older, it just stops mattering.
Yeah, like in high school, you would have been a senior when I was like, what, in 9th or 10th grade?
Something like that.
You're 30 now. I'm 27.
Yeah. Well, I'll be 30 in 2 months. I'm still 20 something. I'll just say 20 something. It's vague enough. I'll be okay. Do we have the system disc yet?
Nope.
Fuck. Oh, I had it. That's why. Okay.
Oh, I see.
It's kind of weird how like it keeps the inventory split like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
It's
All right,
just weird
so
for this style of game.
Tons of
like it's
fucking zombies in here now.
But I mean, this is also like, it's one of the things that fascinates me the most, and that I think is the most regrettable about modern games is the way that everything is so standardized now, and like in terms of control schemes and it's not even that like they aren't better. Like I can say like a lot of the time, yes, the older games control schemes can be a pain in the ass and they can lead to a lot of issues, but they also tended to lead to like unique things that like unique challenges that like newer games just don't have because they're all using the same controls, you know?
Right.
And like
this is very hard to see. This TV is like very dark for some reason right now. But
this gunfire is slow as fuck.
The handgun, yeah, it's not great. Alright, you still have the timed mines, so you're gonna be the one who has to destroy that. So just throw a bunch of timed mines at it. Oh yeah, we are gonna fucking destroy that utterly. So just throw mines at it until the container meter goes down all the way. You're just throwing near you, so you might want to move.
Am I just fucking burying this thing in mines? Is that what's going on? There we go. Sick.
So now we need to get out of here. I believe it's the last thing. And now we're gonna just fight our way out of here. We have to fight a helicopter and shit. It's gonna be crazy.
Shit, dude! It sounds fucking lit.
There we go.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of what game I was playing just
about grenade.
Just the other day that I was thinking about how the unique movement mechanics of it, like as being an old game, led to like really, like you know, I know I'm not the first to say this, and that it may even be a common sentiment among certain circles, certainly among mine, that like people shit on tank controls, and it's so unfair because most of the time the game was built around the controls.
Right.
And like
Oh
shit.
Oh god, do I have to just go on without you now? I guess so.
Wow. Okay.
Well, shit.
Where's my Halo 2-esque respawn point? I guess this gives me a chance to read chat.
It's true.
Stumblereel says, I'm working on an art piece that may be out of my league. I'm not sure I ever finish it at my level of skill, but I'm still hopeful. If it turned out to be too much for me, I want to thank you guys for giving me the ideal of drawing y'all as Siamese cat with two heads. I wouldn't have thought it without your latest video.
Alright.
Godspeed, my
yeah,
dude.
please keep us posted on this masterpiece in the making. Oh, there's lots of zombies, and I have not many bullets.
People don't really shit on tank controls that much, just where they don't belong. People love Resi 4.
Resident Evil 4 didn't have tank controls.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that tank controls.
They loved it because it got rid of the tank controls.
I mean, I guess you could...
No, because like up is not
What
always
people
up.
mean by that, yeah. I mean, like, people shit on, like, original Tomb Raider for having tank controls, for instance. And, like, the whole game is built around it. You're never expected to do something that is... Like, if you were to take Tomb Raider 1 and not change anything about the levels, but make the controls, like, completely, you know, just
normal.
Like... Yeah. Then it would be, like, insanely easy. Because... It was built to make just the levels, like, extremely... Like, every jump is a challenge, you know? Like, it's built around the idea.
These grenades are hard to use.
Why are you using grenades anyway?
I have no bullets left.
In any gun?
All my bullets are gone.
Can't you punch?
Oh, I have bullets again for this. I can, but like they punch harder. Like they're zombies, so they fuck you up good.
Yeah. Is this the flood?
Yeah.
Picture me with the meme with the butterfly. Is this the flood?
Exactly. Someone get on it. Put it on a t-shirt.
But yeah, like I think that I think it's unfair to slag on a control scheme if the game is built around that control
I think
scheme.
that like I don't find the original Tomb Raider's controls to be very fun, but they make sense for what the game's designed around. Like it would be dumb to have normal controls, but I can say I would prefer to play a game with normal controls.
Man, I like the controls in the original Tomb Raider.
Just very stiff. I'm really all about flow in general. Oh, I died too. Well, shit.
I think I'm not. I think I
really.
I once wrote a post on my old blog called "The Problem with Flow-Based Games."
Oh god.
It wasn't so much about like regular ass like flow of movement, so much as like games like Sonic and Dust Force and stuff like that, where my complaint was that until you get good at the game, it feels like shit. Because like when you fail in Sonic, it's fucking miserable. It's like you lose all your rings and you get really slow.
We have to redo everything we've done.
Oh my fucking god.
We lost all those objectives.
Well, let's not get killed again, I guess.
This is some old school checkpoints.
I thought it was weird that we were like right at the. I was like, oh, it seems like it skipped us ahead.
It's that was a very modern checkpoint we expected and we did not get. All right. Well,
you play old games, you feel old.
Yeah. Oh, that guy got fucking murked.
Anyway, so fuck, what was I talking about? Yeah, just like, do you know what I'm talking about with Sonic? How like when you hit something and you have to like build up your momentum.
Sonic should not be a fast game. It's not designed as platformers can't be fast. Like Sonic's entire design is like paradoxical to me.
I mean,
the best part of a Sonic game is the first level where there's no obstacles and you just go fast. Everything else, there's a Gatling gun there, it's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, I figured that out the hard way.
Yeah, I forgot to
Is there really no fucking, like, there's nothing I can do, I just die and you're just fucked?
Can I just,
you might as well just let yourself get killed.
Can I just, I don't want to restart the game. I was hoping I could just restart from checkpoint.
Maybe that's what that means?
It probably doesn't, I'm afraid. Alright, I'll just die too.
I thought I would have like health back, but no, it just spawned us. Like,
no, we did not.
Yeah,
it did not help us.
Are there not like health packs in this game?
There are, but there aren't many of them.
Oh boy.
All right.
Why did you play Digital Devil Saga 2 and not 1? Same for Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, which is part 2 of Persona 2. Availability. I played Persona 2 because it had a English translation that wasn't on the PS Vita. Granted, I played it on an emulator, but like, as far as I knew, Innocent Sin did not have an English version, and I wanted to buy was it PSP or PS Vita? I don't remember which one it was on, but I considered buying Innocent Sin, but I would have had to buy a PSP or Vita or whatever to do it, and I was like, no thanks. Alright, so where are those Gatling guns?
Oh god, there's another one. Unless you were shooting at me in there.
I'm shooting at the Gatling gun.
I already destroyed it. Oh, there is another one. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I knew there were two.
Alright.
I think I got it.
No, it's still going.
Oh.
I got it. There's a big explosion. It lets you know. It lets you know with a nice crunchy sound effect that we can't hear.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I played Persona 2, and then Digital Devil Saga, it was just that I could only find the second game for sale anywhere, and I wanted to play it anyways just because it was the highest rated game on RP Gamer, and I was curious about it for that, like, you know, basically it was like whoever this reviewer was had like insisted that it's like the greatest game, you know, the greatest RPG of all time, and I was like, alright, maybe it'll be fun even if I have no idea what the fuck the story is. And it was. I played like 7 hours of it, and it was dope, but it was like Like, it wasn't... I didn't stop playing it because I didn't understand the game. I stopped playing it because I stopped playing everything. And it seemed hard. Like, not like unplayably hard. It just seemed like it was going to take a lot of attention and time, and I was not willing to commit that. Which is usually why I quit a game. It's usually I realize, like, oh, I can't just play this. I have to live this for a while. So, you know. And we're talking like 5 years
It's almost
ago.
like you had to be games.
Yeah. Well, I've gotten used to, like... Okay, so when I was young, like, I got really into RPGs, JRPGs in particular, when I was 14. And it was because I saw it as, this is an anime as a video game. Like, this is... And remember, back then, in order to watch an anime, you had to either buy DVDs or watch it whenever it happened to be on TV on Cartoon Network. So, like, the ability to just watch an entire anime was, like, kind of foreign to me. That's why, like, the idea of having such a huge dropped list is... Like, people are always like, how can you drop so much anime? And it's like, dude, half the shit I dropped before it was possible to finish anime for me, you know? Like, back in the day, I didn't have the luxury of finishing shows. So I'm just kind of used to that from my youth. But with a video game, you just buy it once and you get the whole fucking story. So,
Or
like...
you used to.
Yeah, once upon a fucking time. So, when I played through Tales of Symphonia, that became like my favorite game of all time by far. I was like obsessed with that game, and I was like, it was like playing an anime. So I wanted to play more JRPGs under that pretense. But the thing is that most of them are a lot harder because fucking Tales of Symphonia is a baby game. The Tales of series are for teenagers, you know, like they're for who I was at the time, and so like. I bought a whole ton of JRPGs, not realizing like that there's a huge variety of styles and you know and difficulty levels between them. So like I didn't like really understand it even at the time. So like I ended up playing through a lot of the Final Fantasy stuff, and I almost never, in fact, I did not ever beat any of them. But that was never because they were too hard, but just like dumb reasons like fucking over my Final Fantasy IX save and just never getting around to finishing 7.
Don't have a handgun anymore.
Because they're also all long as shit, so if anything happens in your life while you happen to be playing through the game and you don't get back to it, then, you know, it's just a lost cause. And I probably bought too many of them at once as well. So, you know, it was like... I wasn't going to play through all of them because I bought too many. So all of those factors were contributing, and it wasn't, like, it took me a long time to, like, comprehend that that was the problem with the JRPGs, was that, like, they literally were too hard for me or too complex, or that, like, that some of them, the appeal is not necessarily the story. Like, in my mind... The only reason to play a JRPG was that they have interesting or good stories, or like at least, you know, like fully fledged ones. But on reflection, like there's a lot of them that are more about the systems, that are more about gameplay, that are more about learning how it all works. And like, you know, I just wasn't prepared for that type of game when I was younger. So like, you know, I think when I bought Digital Devil Saga 2, I was under the impression, like, oh, if it's the greatest RPG of all time, that must mean it has the greatest story of all time, because what else would make a good RPG but a good story? But, like, no. People who really care about RPGs usually care about the battle system and, like, and then...
Die.
So, so, like, then,
I have no bullets again either, so... Fighting with timed mines.
And they take forever.
Oh, and he didn't even die from that. No, he did. Thank God. Just a slow, staggered death animation.
Are there, like, we've picked up, like, all the ammo in the level, right? Like,
I think the problem right now is that they didn't add more ammo for multiplayer. So, like, the ammo for one guy is now split up between 2 people. Because I don't usually run out of ammo like this in this game. So,
so basically, this is a game where both people have to play equally well.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've never played this before, or else I think I'd be at least... Like, I can tell I could be good at this game. Like, I'm not generally bad at first-person shooters. But, like, it's very different, you know, from, like, Halo. In spite of, like, level-wise feeling like Halo,
what did I get hit by?
You were on fire.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Well...
You died of burning to death.
Shit. We're,
Maybe there was a checkpoint when you left the building.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? But I have a feeling that there isn't, because there's not. We probably both have to hit a checkpoint for it to even count.
Why would there be, like, a checkpoint so early in the level and then never again?
Because the next checkpoint would be right before we fight the actual boss.
Oh, I forgot the fucking stupid goddamn turrets.
Yeah, just come up behind him here. I'll take the far one.
I'll be conservative with my ammo now. Now that I know the truth. Alright. So anyway. At one point, are you familiar with a YouTuber named Satchbags Goods?
I've never heard of this person.
Also known as Satchel Like a Bag Drake. Satchel Drakes. He was a part of Normal Boots, but he's like an intellectual games critic guy. Sort of similar in tone to like an Errant Signal, but more esoteric. Like his videos are not only very like collegiate and well spoken, but like he just comes at things from a very like interesting angle, a very different and interesting angle. I would describe his videos as less accessible than most. Like it's not always immediately evident what the hell his point is. Other than that, he's just saying cool sounding words, and I like listening to it. But he had a video about Chrono Cross and like his undying love of Chrono Cross, and just kind of talking about all the stuff he thought was cool about it for like 25 minutes or so.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and we've talked about possibly covering Chrono Cross ourselves, because both of us have wanted to finish it, and I don't think we would say too much of what he said, because honestly his videos are very distinctive. Like, you're not going to hear somebody else say the same thing that Satchback. There's a part in his video, he did a video on Sonic 3 and Knuckles where he like compares the music to fucking the Mars Volta and the Deer Hunter, and I was just like, this is a fucking lot. Like, this is written for me, obviously, nobody else. But anyways, so he had this video about like his undying love of Chrono Cross, like how he loved it as a kid and how it holds up super well today. And so I watched this and I was like, oh man, what if I feel the same way about Tales of Symphonia? Like, I loved that game as a kid. I want to go back and play it as an adult and like see if it holds up like artistically and like if it was good. So I went and bought the PS3 collection that has both games in HD. I played like an hour and a half of it, and I was just like, this ain't it, Chief. Like, like it feels like a baby game. First of all, the graphics don't hold up as well as you might expect, because everyone praised like the cel-shaded graphics at the time, but like it's pretty fucking basic, man. Like, it's no Wind Waker. It doesn't have that strength of color theory and design, you know. And the combat is extremely repetitive. It's just
so you know, Digi, if you shoot the zombies in the head, they die in one hit.
Yeah, I've observed such things. It's weird playing a game that controls like this and where headshots are important.
Yeah, because like it's auto aiming you or aim assisting you at the torso.
Right, and that's typically how, like, I remember in older games that like they would basically auto aim as like, hey, you have an easier time aiming, but you're gonna waste more bullets. So like pro players would, you know.
Right.
It's just weird that would be the default. And also just that like it's fucking not easy to get headshots when the controls are this.
You know what I think the problem? Hold on, let me go to preferences.
I'm gonna turn off my aim assist.
Auto look ahead. I think we need to turn that off because when it's going to start pulling your controller back to the center, which I think is why it's having problems.
Yeah, this feels more natural. I'm getting my fucking ass reamed. It's weird that there's no real knockback for the enemies. Like, I expect to shoot him and that give me leeway to escape, but I just shoot him and then he just keeps fucking thrashing me. And I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything to this guy.
I gotta do that. I don't have time to mines.
So yeah, I played a little bit of Tales of Symphonia, and I immediately was like completely uninterested and thought I would have nothing to say about it. So it was at that moment that I realized, like, maybe I just liked JRPGs because I was a fucking child. But then I was like, well, then surely there's ones that are like for adults, and like, yeah, there's the games that are more mechanics driven, like, and even the ones like, okay, Final Fantasy is interesting because playing through like the main storyline of a Final Fantasy game, they make it pretty easy. Like, in like the you know, 6 onwards games, the ones that are like best known, like, you don't have to do every single secret in the game to beat Sephiroth. But there's a lot of games where that is the case, and when I was younger I thought that was bullshit because I hated doing side quests. I always saw it as like, because to me, like, the point of the game was to get from cutscene to cutscene, basically. It was like, I wanted that big come of like getting the hour-long cutscene that progresses the story. And nowadays, I find cutscenes boring as shit, and I don't want that at all.
Oh god,
and the side quests are my favorite part.
If we do Xenosaga.
Well, Xenosaga has good cutscenes though, so that game's fine. And they are long as shit.
No!
Because I was watching May play through the first few hours, and yeah, the cutscenes are very fucking long in that game. But that game has interesting things to say, and is more complicated than, say, Tales of Symphonia. But like,
oh god.
Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that, like, my opinion of side quests shifted radically, and like, I realized that those are kind of the point of the game, is to like do all the fun minutia and all the like weird shit. And granted, in Final Fantasy in particular, a lot of the side quests are fucking bullshit, and they're just tests of patience. Like dodge 100 fucking lightning bolts, and like, you have to do that to get, like, in order to get all of the like the final weapons for the characters. Like, that is something you would have to do, and that's the only way you're gonna beat like certain late game bosses. And it's just like, it's asking a lot, you know. Like, I could see that as like a random one-off side challenge that gave you something fun, but like to require that just to do, like, you know, like end game content, it's just like, this is nothing to do with the appeal of Final Fantasy X. Dodging 100 fucking lightning bolts in a row has nothing to do with the appeal of this game. And expecting me to do it is horse shit.
Why won't you die, camera?
Maybe you just had to hit it like really precisely in the lens or something.
Oh god, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you got that one in one hit.
I've
got like 2 hits left,
if that,
in your life.
If that, and there's still a long way to go.
Hopefully you'll hit a checkpoint.
Oh no,
that would be nice.
I mean, it would be, but I'm not holding my breath.
Is there a reload button, or do you just reload when you run out of ammo?
Triangle.
Okay.
Why is this guy taking forever to drop? Oh fuck. This is harder without a reticle by default. Flamethrower.
Have you played Hunter the Reckoning?
No.
Never heard of it.
I have heard the name.
Let me look it up.
It reminds me of another game I wanted to play for the PS2 back then called Headhunter, which people compared to Metal Gear Solid, but not as good.
Didn't you have that?
I do not have Headhunter. I do have Metal Gear Solid.
Hunter the Reckoning is a role-playing game based in White Wolf Game Studios' World of Darkness.
Sounds cool.
What kind of game is this? It's from 1999.
no. I'm running very low on bullets. Okay. Where are we doing? What? The Steam's back.
I guess it's just like a Western RPG. Do you care for owning games physically?
Yes.
Tell them all the reason why you care for owning games physically.
The reason why I care about owning games physically is that if I'm spending $60, I want something for it. You know, because if things have taught us, like digital distribution has taught us anything, is that you don't own anything you actually buy. Oh, I'm gonna die for sure. I don't even. Yeah, fuck me. I had like no health. There's no way I was gonna make that work.
I thought you were gonna talk about the resale.
Well, that's another thing. Is that like I want to have something so that if I want to resell it, I've bought something that has value,
right.
Whereas a download has no value.
Yeah.
You're giving them money for access to something that they still own and can take from me at any time. Like if Steam ever tanks for whatever, like 10 years from now, if Steam goes out of business, everything on that service that I've bought, I don't have. Whereas like my Sega games, I'm always gonna own.
That's not true. Like you can buy Steam games and play them without the Steam client.
But they're attached to not if you buy them directly through Steam. I don't believe you can.
I think you can for some games.
Like PC games now, you buy the disc. The disc is just a link to Steam. I'm terrified to see what this checkpoint's going to be. And the weird thing is, I steamrolled through this level single player. I don't know why it's harder multiplayer. It's like they made it more difficult, but didn't give you more bullets.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see where it drops us. Oh! Oh! Oh!
I tell you what, Tom, if this gets too painful, you can play this game single player. And I'll just watch like a normal I Am Game stream. Because while I am having fun, I also am very bad.
I don't know, dude. I'm not doing too well either. Considering I can't finish the first fucking level.
Don't go up there, there's fucking turrets.
Right.
Alright, sick. I think it's just... We just gotta play more cautiously. It's hard to think of it that way because you run like a fucking Doom game and because it feels so like old school and classic, but you really gotta play it more like Halo than you would.
You know what the real problem is right now? Is that it's spawning us with like 20% health left because we were trying to get our bearings in the beginning. Like if we just restarted the entire level, we'd probably be doing a lot better at this point.
Maybe we should do that.
Well, if we die again, we'll give it another shot before we have you check out.
How do I switch cameras?
Triangle. Or no, exit camera switches you to the next one. So triangle to turn the camera off so it won't shoot us.
Exit camera's not doing anything right now. I'm pressing X and nothing's happening.
Oh. How about now?
No.
Are you're just stuck?
Yeah, I seem to be stuck.
Oh.
Maybe I gotta fire more bullet? I'm fucking stuck!
I think that's God telling us to restart the level.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah!
Okay.
Alright, well now we're gonna know what to do.
Alright.
Yeah, it's interesting that we almost have like distinct roles because it lets us pick up different guns from each other. Although we both have sniper rifles right now. And the bullet with the sniper lies in the bloody gutless cell.
We're gonna take out the cameras to make sure we're not spotted.
I see a camera and a guy.
Hit him. Hit him.
Fuck you.
Oh no.
Fuck you, Rick Berman.
Your wounds too. Oh, wait a minute. Damn, Rick Berman. What is it with Ricks?
I got the camera.
I got shot.
I got shot.
No, I got shot for real.
I got shot.
No, god damn it, I got shot.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm always happy that you know my references. Tom, You know, like an astounding number of the same references as me.
Well, I mean, every time you go full anime, I can't really follow along, or like full rap. But I don't know. There's some overlap there. I don't know why I decided to stand in front of this camera, but I did.
Pretentious fool! Don't make me laugh. You know that one?
I do, but I don't remember what it's from.
It's one of Mitsurugi's quotes.
Yes. That's why I know what it's from. There we go.
This red light important?
No, it's just a little light that tells you that shit's going on. Did you get the timed mines?
I don't think so.
Alright, I will go get them.
Ooh, bad input signal. Main screen turn on.
How about you, gentlemen? All your race are belong to us. You will have no chance to survive. Make your time. That's some classic, totally dated deliciousness.
I think I got that guy in the first shot.
Hell yeah. Someone in the chat, let us know if you had that sick that happens when you hit somebody in this game, which I'm really sad we can't hear. It makes the gunplay much better.
I honestly think it is making the game a lot more difficult to not be able to hear.
It really is. No joke.
There's just, you know, these older games don't have as many outputs for your senses as the newer models do.
There's not a lot of visual cues they can do with a lower resolution and polygonal count.
There's not a plus 10 EXP popping up over their heads or anything.
Call of Duty Black Ops, anybody?
Yeah. I don't know anything about those games.
When I graduated college, I was like, my life is over now. So all I did, me and my buddies, the entire summer just played Call of Duty Black Ops online. It was the only Call of Duty I ever played. It was actually pretty fun.
I played a considerable amount of Modern Warfare when it first came out, mostly because my buddy Donson logged like a month of time on that game within the first couple of months of it existing. Jesus. He was actually on the U.S. leaderboards in like the top 100.
My friend Brendan's really good at games. He like prestiged like 4 or 5 times in Black Ops. Like during the amount of time I didn't even prestige once.
I've never heard of this prestiging. So
prestige is when like you know how you go up to like I think it's like level 50 or 100 in Black Ops as you play the game or any Call of Duty. You like level up, and as you level up you unlock more guns. Once you hit max level, it's called prestiging. So you get a little icon next to your name and it starts the levels over and they're harder to get. So he did that like 6 times.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean that in both senses of the word. Disgusting, good, and bad. Alright.
Is there a good version of the word disgusting?
Yeah, like, oh, it's fucking disgusting in a good way.
I mean, I know sick.
Yeah, disgusting is the same thing.
Wait, did I just turn this back on?
I think you did. Because I've been hitting them. Alright, we're good.
Gomenashar. Yeah, you plowed way ahead of me. I was hanging back because I thought there'd be more guys in the snowy area.
I'm just kind of... Oh! It's a good dodge. Good dodge.
There's no power.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, am I going backwards? How the fuck did I get turned around?
No, I think you're going the right way, right?
Oh, is there another giant
it's another...
stairways?
It's like the same thing on each side.
Okay, I don't know why I didn't remember that.
Well, you only have played it once, so...
Got the sniper ammo. Hey.
Alright, I'm wrecking
I'll
train
open the
this
door.
time.
I have the code. Do you know that one?
It's from Resident Evil 1, right?
No.
No?
I know what you're thinking of, but no.
Alright, then I don't know what it's from.
It's from a Xbox 360 title. A very famous Xbox 360 title. You might even say it was the biggest IP on the console.
Gears of War?
Yes. In Gears of War, there's in like the first area,
taking some hits, dude. Taking some blows.
Yeah, I took a lot of hits and I was in like sniper mode, and so it didn't show my HP, so I got really paranoid that I was like lost more HP than I realized.
There is another sniper on the other side. You know that sniper that was really annoying? There's one on the other side on this part.
Fucking Jesus
Christ. My god.
Do we actually hurt each other if we shoot each other?
We do.
That's fucked.
Yeah. So. And the fact that we look just like the enemies is not helping matters.
Yeah, no. It's...
Like, they could have put a little triangle over our head being like P1, P2 or something.
It really, like, it really is just, like, old-ass fuck game, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just how it is. Alright, where the fuck is that sniper at? Oh, he's probably up there, right?
Yeah, he's up on the other side, like over...
I mean, the fucking balls to put a sniper in such a, like, a crazy-ass location and not give you any indication of it. Just, like... the expectation that you're going to think about, hey, I'm getting hit, why? And then to, like, observe your surroundings, figure out where the guy is, and then kill him when he's, like, not even fucking... You can't even make him out. Like,
yeah.
You can't even tell. And honestly, I'm not complaining, by the way, in spite of the fact I'm raising my voice. I think it's fucking lit.
It's pretty cool.
Like, what game would ever have the balls to do that?
Like, if they were going to do that now, you would go into the room... and then all of a sudden it would load up a cutscene. It'd be like, whoa! And then a bullet would hit the floor right in front of you.
Yeah.
And then someone would radio in and be like, there's a sniper in the area!
Yeah.
And then you'd have to have like a whole mission objective just to take down that sniper.
I'm trying to kill that guy.
Damn.
What's up, Mark?
Oh, I just used a move that did like 7,000 damage.
Holy
Whoa.
shit.
I could use a move that did 7,000 damage right now.
Yeah. Faux show.
Although I do have a fuck ton of bullets this time.
Good.
Doing good. 117 bullets right now.
Fuck is shooting me. Fuck you.
Oh, I thought that was
Fuck
you
you,
shooting at someone
bitch.
else.
Oh, wait, that's... Oh, that was... Okay. That guy, I thought was you.
Fuck.
And he was the one shooting me, and I thought you were shooting me.
No, I would never do such a thing on purpose for a sustained period. Okay, don't take these out. So you want to take the other one?
I've been working on the railroad.
One thing I will say about TimeSplitter's Future Perfect is that the controls are much more modern than this one. Yeah, so it feels a bit more,
Fucking EA mandate.
for sure. I'm surprised that this switched over from IDOS to EA. I wonder how that happened.
It seems like the studio, they went through a lot.
Yeah.
These guys were ex-Rareware employees, and then like they made TimeSplitters 1 was a PS2 exclusive, and then like they released that and this game through IDOS, and then they went to fucking EA for the third one, and then they got bought out by Crytek in like the mid 2000s. Well, I guess so. They were apparently making Star Wars Battlefront 3 for EA, and then they were 99% done with the game, and it suddenly got canned. And then at the same time, they were working on that other game. Was it Fuse?
Haze.
Haze. Fuse was the other failed game from Insomniac. Right? Wasn't that their game that like shooter game they were making that I don't think ever saw the light of day?
Maybe? I don't know.
Anyways. So yeah, between those two things happening, the studio went bankrupt. And then they were bought by Crytek. And they were working on like a TimeSplitters 4 for a while, but it didn't come together. And then I guess there was supposed to be like, I guess some fans like were making a mod, like a mod of TimeSplitters 3 that was going to become TimeSplitters 4.
Yep.
And they got the go-ahead, but as far as I can tell, there's no further information about it.
Yeah, I started reading about that. Oh, I think you have the system disc.
Oh.
Yeah, because we were in the room and killed it already. So you need to come back here and put it in.
But yeah, so, and now, like, they're still under Crytek, but and they're considered like Crytek UK or whatever. But the IP was bought by THQ Nordic. So I would assume that means that THQ is going to put them to task on making another TimeSplitters game, and as long as it's from the same developers, I see no reason to think it wouldn't be, you know, just as good as the classics. Oh, right. We're not going up yet. We're going over there.
Yeah.
I was trying to skip a step.
Hold on, I just threw a bomb. I'm choosing the mines because, fuck it.
Fucking flood.
Look out, look out!
Boy!
This one just hanging out. Oh, that was actually relatively well timed.
Yeah, I can't tell if this guy's dead or not.
Guess not. He is now. Take him out. Alright, cool.
Alright.
That's another thing, like, they have those long staggered animations, but once they start staggering, your bullets don't make the sound anymore, so you know that they're dead. Which we can't tell right now, so...
Yeah.
Just another excuse that, like, we are games, honest.
Yeah. No Johns.
Alright.
Are you familiar with the phrase "no Johns"?
I'm not familiar with the phrase "no Johns."
It's a meme in the Smash community that basically means excuses.
Okay.
I guess the legend goes that there was a guy named John who every single time he lost a match he would have some excuse like, oh, my controller doesn't work, or like, oh, it's because the lag time on the TV, and
The
like,
old reliable tactic.
yeah. So they developed the phrase "no Johns" in reference.
I just took a fucking bullet to the face, hardcore.
Bullet to the fucking face.
Fucker in the face.
Fucker.
In the face.
Fuckers in the face. Fuckers in the face. Burning guy.
My favorite.
Isn't there literally like a flood like this?
I'm sure. I mean, this came out after Halo 1, so... Holy shit. Why is this guy such a fucking bullet sponge? Alright, he's done.
Someone make an AMV of Halo set to the song "Flood" by Boris. It's just about the flood. It would be tonally completely inappropriate, but it would also be cool.
The inappropriate tone.
Because it would be
is on
two
purpose.
things that I like.
Then that's all the tone you need.
That's all an AMV is supposed to be, you know, back in the old days.
I'm gonna fuck these guys up good, dude. We're doing way better than before.
Tom, what do you think is more autistic? This is just one example, but it could be anything of the like. Making a fanfic or making a good fanfic?
Making a good fanfic, absolutely.
Okay.
Because, like, oh, I'm on fire? Son of a bitch, I was doing so good!
Like, I feel like you've always got those mediums, like, for instance, AMVs, where, like, inherently, the mere conceit...
I don't think I can, like, not be on fire. I think I'm just dead. I don't know how to stop it.
True. Maybe roll around in the snow?
I wish. You're on fire now, too, so we did
Great.
lose.
Did I get it from you? Did I catch it from you?
I guess. I gave you the fire.
You gave me the burn.
Well, we were crushing. I had to open my mouth to
Hot
say.
sauce all on my
I'm also
top.
out of bullets. Somehow I blew through 100 bullets.
Oh my god, I'm like fucked. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. There's got to be a way to stop it.
How are you still alive?
I don't know. I don't like... Oh, I'm about to die. It just takes a while.
This is ass shit.
We were crushing, too. Now we're going to do that whole thing again.
Ah, ass shit.
Shitty ass.
Like, it literally just took one guy with a flamethrower to ruin our entire flow. Because we were crushing that whole thing.
I can't believe that me touching you lit me on fire. Literally an STD.
Yeah.
I also can't believe that the only fucking checkpoint in the level is so fucking early in.
It's pretty obnoxious, not gonna lie.
What the hell was I even talking about before? Oh yeah, AMVs.
Fanfics.
Well, like...
Good fanfic.
Like, AMVs are like... Literally, the point is, two things I like, right? And like... There are people who care a lot about the artistry of AMVs, who are like, You know, they really care about, like, because of the fact that you can make it amazing, they care a lot about, like, the quality level of it. And it's like, but the whole conceit of the medium of AMVs is, two things I like. And as soon as you get, like, pretentious about, or elitist about that, it's like, somehow it's even worse. Somehow, like, caring about making it good, like, even if it takes more skill, and you can legitimately make something impressive, like, you know, it's like you've escaped the core premise. It's just a thought I had out of nowhere. I'm reminded. Do you remember that time that that Jesse made this Eva AMV of the song "Clean Machine," a song I was not even familiar with until he made this AMV, and like scenes of Asuka, and like he posted it on like the Eva subreddit. And it was getting all this shit from some guy over the fact that he altered the aspect ratio of some of the clips. Because, you know, the show's in 4:3, and he was using scenes from both the show and the movie. So he altered the 4:3 clips to be 16. You're shooting me, by the way. That is me. Oh, that guy behind me is not me, though. Alright, I am positioned under the camera. I think everybody's dead. Cool. But yeah, like he had switched some of the clips to from 4:3 to 16:9, and you know, obviously they were stretched, and it's because it's an AMV. It doesn't fucking matter. But this dude was like going on about how it like was not proper AMV etiquette and how it would be like laughed out of an AMV competition and stuff like that. And Jesse was just like, "What is wrong with you?" Like,
it's a good question.
The purpose of this AMV is, haha, two things I like. Like, hey, I think this song represents this character, so I made a video about it, you know? Like, and it was more aesthetically pleasing to do things the way he did it, so it makes perfect sense. It's just like, man.
You're not allowed. You know what? The thing is, things I've always thought interesting about, like, AMVs and stuff like that, is it always felt like people who can't do things that want to do things.
Yeah, and so they take this huge sense of pride in...
I wonder how many people who make AMVs are watching us right now. That we've just alienated and will never buy a shirt.
I mean, I like AMVs. I just don't like elitism over AMVs.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like... I just feel like that time can be spent mastering something that's better. And like, I gotta say, at the end of the day, who am I to tell you how to spend your time? It's just like, it's the same thing with fanfic too. It's just like, write an actual book.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's someone who's
coming from a man who wrote a novel-length fanfic.
Yeah, like, and it was a waste of time. But at the same time, I knew it was a waste of time and did it anyway. So.
Well, I think you have the mines this time.
Might actually, maybe. Oh yeah, I do. Get out of the way, bitch.
Wardrobe Della says, Clean Machine is the best AMV I've ever seen, no joke. Apparently the guy was a mod on the subreddit.
Oh, well...
That's fucking hilarious.
I mean, what do you expect from fucking subreddits? I'm talking about people who don't have any skill and want to feel like they're doing something.
Mods.
Moderating anything.
Definitely. I mean, I think...
Again, moderating anything and taking it seriously.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely mods who are just, like, doing it because they, you know, are community-oriented.
Being a part of the community is different from taking pleasure in ruling over the community. And that's really the difference between a good mod and a bad mod. Alright, we took him down good this time.
Stay away
from... Hit triangle. Reload. You only have one shot left. Alright, there was a guy on the top floor with a flamethrower, which is how we're getting fucked, by the way.
I see. Dude, fuck you fucking assholes. There's like shooting me when I'm not even in their line of sight.
Just being dicks about it. Being fucking dicks. Definitely prioritize the black guys. They're the special forces with weapons.
I always prioritize the black guy.
Well,
when I'm sucking dick. No, huh?
Oh, it should be easy adjustment for you.
Blacked.com.
Yeah. God.
Do you think I'd have an easier time if I like tried to aim less? Seems like maybe.
Aim at zombies. Don't bother aiming at the guys with guns, because like when you hit them, if you miss while aiming a headshot, they'll hit you. If you hit them in the chest, they stagger and can't shoot you. So.
There's Flamethrower Boy.
Yeah.
I fucking died anyway.
How'd you die? Did he hit you?
Yeah, he shot me in the head. I got shot in the face, and I got even shot in other places.
Oh God, I'm alone. I'm alone in this cruel and caring world.
What I do?
Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed.
Don't lie.
I'm trying my best, man. I want to send this level home. You know what I mean? All right, just gonna do this. I'm just gonna no. I'll take out this camera. I believe it's dead. I'm gonna reload.
What do the cameras do exactly?
They spawn more enemies at your location, which is why we keep getting overwhelmed a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
Because we aren't paying. Like, if we had sound, you would hear our obnoxious "bwee, bwee" every time we get spotted.
I see.
But we don't have sound, so you can't tell.
This game is truly making me appreciate how much sound can matter.
Man, it's almost like
That elevator was open, by the way. I think you can take it now.
Maybe. Let's find out. No. Oh no. Okay.
I think you gotta press both. Oh no.
One's for up, one's for down. We're going
Sensible. My buddy Donson always insisted that like in first-person shooters, even playing on multiplayer, that sound was like extremely important because
it is. My buddy Devin is the same way. He was so good at Counter-Strike and like he could hear footsteps like just in the map, so he knew where everybody was just from the footsteps.
That's how he was too.
Yeah, and I just thought that was really autistic. And
he also played Counter-Strike.
I mean, I think that's the game from our era that teaches you about that. My friend Devin had he was like really good at Counter-Strike. You remember like Cal, like the fucking before MLG, there's like Cal I and Cal A and all that shit. He was doing that stuff. Well, here we go again. Another attempt. Where is this fucking chopper? I can't see it. It's the game is so shit. I can't see where the enemy is. Like, do you see a chopper right now? Because I don't. But there is one. Oh, there it is. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh no.
Get to the chopper!
I need to get to the turret to take down the chopper.
Get to the turret! And then go! You got some missile launchers, dude.
Well, those are the enemy's missile launchers.
Well, looks like you've taken out some of them.
God, I'm getting hit again. What am I getting hit by? Oh, this dude's spawning. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! I'm about to die!
Nah, dude, you got this, dog. You got this.
No!
I shouldn't have believed.
Fuck! Oh my god! Dude, this is...
Alright, what do you think? Should you do it single player?
Is that even gonna help? Because, like, I did that single player basically the whole rest of the time.
Well, I mean, I would assume that they make things harder on multiplayer.
We can give it a shot, I guess. If I still fail, then, like, we both
see what
suck.
happens.
Holy god damn, dude.
Holy gosh and golly gee, Batman.
That's exactly the sentiment I was trying to express. Alright. Are we getting laughed at in the chat? I feel like we should. I think we've earned it.
They were talking about how funny it was that the camera was spinning around me in a display of shame. This guy says probably play on medium. We were on medium.
Yeah, we were on medium. We didn't go on hard mode.
We could probably just play on easy though.
The problem with easy is that it changes the levels and they're really gay and boring. Like there's no boss battle in easy. Like we would have finished the level like 6 times over on easy. Like when you go get that time crystal, that's where the level ends on easy. So it's kind of. I gotta keep going back. I go back to single player. Boom.
Un player. Well, I guess I can engage with chat now. So
that's
if you
true.
guys want to start engaging me.
Engage, Cage.
I'm gonna scroll all the way back up through the chat and see what's been said.
Oh God, laugh at our failures. I did shoot you with a shotgun once, so if someone made fun of me for that, I earned it. Alright.
How many people are watching the stream?
That's a good question, Mark. How many are watching right now?
34.
Rule 34.
Which is very understandable for 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, very, I'd respect you all if I wasn't so scared for your social lives if you're watching this at this time.
How many consoles will we possibly be able to see on IM Games? What all do you have?
PS1, PS2, Sega Genesis, NES, PS3, PS4, original Xbox, Switch, PC.
I've got a 360 in addition to all that. The Wii, the Wii U. So, I think that's it between an N64.
You kind of just need a Super Nintendo at this point.
Oh yeah, you have an NES as well.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm surprised I don't have a Super Nintendo. Because we had two at my old place. But I didn't take any Nintendo consoles with me. I basically, like, when I moved out, I basically just was like, Victor, you can have all the Nintendo, I'm taking all the Sony. Because, like, the PS4 was actually mine. The PS2, I mean, ended up not... It fucking gave out on me anyway, so I had to buy a new one.
Just so everybody knows, I'm terrible at sniping in all video games, not just this one with bad controls.
The sniping controls are particularly fucking egregious in this game. Because it's super precise, but the joystick...
There's not enough like.
It's not like a modern game where you move the screen and the joystick remains in the place that you've moved
like
it
as
to.
soon as I let
you have
go,
to
it
hold it in
back.
position, and it's like
I'm pushing up. Now that I let go, it snaps back to the center.
Yeah, it's ludicrous as a sniping control. And I mean, maybe they just wanted sniping to be like super difficult because it's not something you're supposed to do a whole lot of. Like,
except this whole first section is designed around sniping, so you.
Well, I mean, like, you're not under fire though, so like maybe they thought there would be no challenge unless you actually had to like finagle the sniper rifle, because you know if this was Halo 2, then like you would just have done that literally no problem. Like it would have been 5 seconds of sniping those two guys in the face. So I can kind of appreciate that.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just unexpected and like you're not practiced with it, so
yeah.
it feels very different. Alright, I need to save a sniper bullet for the actual sniper. No. Oh, I got spotted, son of a bitch. Stupid fucking camera.
I'm gonna scroll back to the tournament chat.
Dude up.
Damn it, son of a bitch.
Fuck. Oh, it hurts. It hurts my soul. Hurts my brain.
Yo, we need IM Games Wii with face cam.
IM Games Wii.
Dude, I would love to fucking do a video of some sort on my favorite co-op game other than Phantasy Star, which is House of the Dead Overkill. Have you ever played that game?
I've not, but it sounds pretty sick.
Have you ever played any House of the Dead games?
I have. I love House of the Dead.
House of the Dead Overkill is the one that's like a grindhouse B-movie shtick aesthetic, and it was originally a Wii game. It's also been on it's also on like the PlayStation 3 Move, and there's a PC version of Typing of the Dead Overkill, which I own but have not tried to play yet. But basically, it's like the fucking cutscenes and their dialogue are absolutely hilarious, and like it's just like a cool ass rail shooter using Wiimotes. I don't know if I have them. I don't think I have them with me, but I at one point bought two like of those gun holsters for the Wiimote.
Oh yeah.
So that you have actual handguns, and me and Victor like spray painted them and named them Killer Mike and LP after the two members of the hip hop duo Run the Jewels. So yeah, we played with we did like a 3-episode Let's Play, but I don't think I ever released it because it was really bad. Because we were trying to like it was one of the like early games that we did, and we hadn't really gotten used to doing Let's Plays yet, and
that seems like thematically appropriate though.
Yeah, it was not good. I think I threw them out, but in any case, the game is fucking sick, and it would be awesome to play with you.
Let's fucking do it. I'm down.
It's probably for like. I don't know if I have those guns on me, and I would be really sad if I don't and I play the game without them. But on the other hand, they were kind of fucky and not that great of controllers, so it might be better off without them.
Like that guy can't see me, even though he just looks directly at me.
But yeah, House of the Dead Overkill is fucking sick.
Well, I'm down. I'm down to give that a whirl.
Alton, are you joining from Twitch, or do you know that I am Yeah, we can just play Super Nintendo games on an emulator.
Yeah,
so
but
that would be easy
it's
enough.
fucking cooler to have the real thing.
Yeah, it's cooler, but we don't really have any SNES games that we have access to.
No.
I don't know if there's any SNES game I'm particularly interested in covering on Ion Games at present anyways. Whoa, you can shoot through the fucking glass? That's awesome!
That's sick.
That is fucking cool as hell.
It's the little things, man. You know what game I actually would be really interested in playing, and you might be too, actually. That's we could even roll into like the I guess maybe the Free Radical thing. Do you know the Rare collection for Xbox 360?
No.
They have a collection of a bunch of Rare games, including Perfect Dark, which they made like better graphics and added dual analog controls to, and I'm very interested in playing that.
Yeah, I know you have Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
On the N64, right?
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite like classic games. It's just so fucking fun.
We definitely should roll that into if we talk about this studio. Because I never played Perfect Dark before.
Oh my god, are you kidding? Wait. We need to get the 64 right now. Fuck this game. I'm like not 100% serious, but I'm pretty serious. Like, holy shit, dude. The laptop gun is the coolest shit ever.
When I was a kid, because I had an N64 obviously, and Perfect Dark was like the second highest rated game in Nintendo Power on the N64 after Ocarina of Time, because they gave before they changed their system and babyfied it, just like fucking GameSpot. Like when I very, very first started reading Nintendo Power, they had a percentage system, and they were actually really fucking strict. Because it was like the highest score they'd ever given was a 98% to Ocarina of Time. And under that was a 96% to Perfect Dark. And nothing else had even like come close to that. I think the next one was like 91 or some shit. So like those two games were like unequivocally the highest rated. And one of my friends had it, but like watching him play, it just looked... it looked really dark and confusing and like a nightmare, and I didn't want to play it because I couldn't even comprehend what I was witnessing because I'd never seen a first-person game before. So I was just like, what the fuck is this? And I played GoldenEye, but only ever on multiplayer. I've never played the single-player mode.
The single-player's okay. No, Perfect Dark's incredibly fun. I love the guns in it. The weapons are really the best part. Like, there is like not a gun in like first-person games I've played that feels better than like the Super Dragon from Perfect Dark. Like every shot of that sounds like fucking hell, and it's great. It's the best, and I love it.
Sounds like we gotta cover like
the guns in this game sound great too. I know it's impossible to tell, but like everything has a ton of weight. Like those hits, they fucking have weight to it.
I think that this world is probably waiting for a rundown on this dev. Obviously GoldenEye and Perfect Dark are like considered classics, and the TimeSplitters games are from the same guys and considered classics by the people who actually played them. They just never had like the same. I think just because of the fact that GoldenEye and Perfect Dark were so fucking groundbreaking, and that like
I think it's because they were A, groundbreaking, and B, there was nothing else on the 64 in that vein. So if you had a Nintendo 64 and you wanted to play a game like that, those were your options.
And I mean, like in the PS2 era was the first time that like first-person shooters were regularly not on PC and had like started to develop a sensible control scheme. And so like even though the TimeSplitters games were extremely well rated and well reviewed and everything, I feel like they were probably just overshadowed by the existence of Halo on Xbox and like SOCOM and fucking Medal of Honor and Call of Duty. Although I think these were still successful games.
They were.
They weren't exactly like obscure.
No. But I think they've just kind of been forgotten.
It's because nothing's come out from them. And like it's amazing when I look back at the history of gaming, like basically everything is always just waiting for the internet age comeback, because in the internet age, like everything gets hyped. Anything that's popular is treated like it's fucking the greatest thing in the world. And like when we were kids, you didn't have a sense of how important or popular a game was, because a game could sell 1 million copies but no one at your school played it, you know? And so like you didn't have the internet to connect with other people who had played the same games as you. So like I would have never known that Super Smash Bros was popular until I got on the internet. I never knew a single person who played Super Smash Bros. Other than my friends, you know, like who played it at my house. Because nobody I knew had a fucking Nintendo console growing up. Everybody was Sony people.
I think that was kind of just like how the world worked, you know?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have that view into like the greater zeitgeist outside of your local perspective.
And like the amount of people who I talk to online who like will perceive something as like totally forgotten or totally like, oh, nobody played it, it was super obscure, and then like I'm like, no it's not, because I know now, I know all the data. There was something just I think it was something we mentioned in the latest video, Out of This World, or Another World as it's also known. Like I mentioned that game in the video, and there was a comment that was like, oh, super underrated game, like man, everybody needs to play this classic like hidden gem. And I'm like, like every game reviewer I've ever heard of has talked about Another World. Like, you know, Game Grumps covered it in a very, you know, widely seen. It was like that was like the first playthrough with Dan on the show that like ever got really popular. They made a T-shirt out of that playthrough, the Mike Ruba, you know, like. Fucking
I just tried to throw a grenade.
Yahtzee did a Let's Play of it. Jesse's done 2 Let's Plays of it, one with me in it. Like, and it's released on like every console ever. Like, you know, on the PS4 on Steam, you can buy Another World. Like that game is extremely well known and well regarded. So when this guy was like, "Oh, super underrated classic gem," I'm like, I understand that like. Yeah, the average person who only knows like mainstream games probably doesn't know it, but like anybody who is like a gamer, you know, who like knows games history at all, probably knows Another World, you know. But like that guy probably just doesn't hang out in those kind of communities or follow the kinds of critics and stuff that I do who would have talked about it. So like yeah, it's a fascinating perspective thing, and that's why I was so enthusiastic about covering this game, because you seemed like you had something to say about it. And I know that Time Crisis is a very beloved series, because these games still place in like greatest games of all time lists. Like there's clearly, and I remember the reviews that, you know, these games got really positive reception when they came out, and they sold well. It's obvious that like the reason there hasn't been another one is just because of all the fuckery behind the developers, you know, getting fucked by EA, you know, never getting Time Crisis 4 off the ground, or TimeSplitters 4 off the ground. So like, you know, in this here internet age, we've never gotten that reaffirmation. And I promise you, as soon as a new TimeSplitters gets announced, everyone will be talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, the second they announce TimeSplitters 4, suddenly everyone's gonna be like, oh shit, TimeSplitters was my fucking jam, dude. Oh, it's such a forgotten gem. Everyone needs to fucking play TimeSplitters 2. It was the fucking dopest shit in the world. And, like, I figure, hey, let's beat them to the bandwagon and do it right before, you know?
Right.
And then when the shit comes out and everyone's fucking Googling TimeSplitters because, you know, all the new kids have to find out why all the old kids won't, like, all the millennials are freaking out, you know? Then we'll have the...
we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be games.
Being games.
Anyway, I'll go back to the chat now.
You do need to play Perfect Dark, though. I feel like it would probably be better to... I want to play the Xbox version just because I feel like this N64 one won't play well now. Like, this already feels dated, but, like, playing GoldenEye or Perfect Dark on 64 is like... Ooh. It's tough.
Hey, Chris Fox says, yeah, anytime a game gets a redux, it suddenly becomes mainstream by sheer exposure. You want the perfect example of that? Fucking Shenmue. Like,
yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, people... I don't know. What, did everyone who owned a Dreamcast have Shenmue? Like,
I didn't.
You didn't have it. I didn't. I never knew a single fucking... I never heard of Shenmue until I got on the internet. Like, I never heard a single peep about that game. And then, like, all I ever heard from it was that it was, like, this cult classic that, like, oh, yeah, if you had a Dreamcast, you had to know Shenmue. And then, like...
I mean...
when Shenmue 3 got announced, it was treated like it was this huge fucking deal. And I was like... Is it a big fucking deal? Do people really care about Shenmue? Because everything I ever saw from it made it look goofy as fuck. And, like, now there's a bunch of people... because Shenmue 1 and 2, you know, have been re-released recently. And, like, there's been a bunch of retro reviews of it, of people just going, like, yeah, it doesn't hold up, like, at all. It's kind of shit. Not sure what you guys saw in it.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing like you play Perfect Dark now.
Cage in a Mazinger Z shirt.
Whoa. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
What is it?
It's Nick Cage in a Mazinger Z shirt.
Whoa.
And on top of that, he's wearing this, like, bizarre leopard jacket.
What is going on?
I don't know. It's pretty fucking cool. I would totally watch Mazinger with Nick Cage. Anyway, yeah, I mean... yeah, GoldenEye is a game that is difficult to return to, for instance, because of its control scheme. And I mean, this game has a similar control scheme, so like...
no, because GoldenEye has one analog stick. You can't do this.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
And that makes it unplayable to anybody who has any exposure
so
to
how does Perfect Dark work?
It's the same way, because it's N64.
Right, so
Which
do you think that you would still feel the same...
I would
ecstatic love for it.
The things that I love the most about Perfect Dark is how visceral everything feels and how interesting all the weapons are. I feel that part I would still appreciate, but the controls would hamper the experience. Hence why I want to play it on Xbox 360 with better visuals, aka better frame rate, because I'm an FPS whore, and because it has dual analog. Like, that sounds like it would just make it perfect. No pun intended.
Yeah, and I guess I was when I heard about things like, you know, oh, they remade these games with dual analog. Like, I've always been like, well, aren't the games designed around not having dual analog?
I don't know. I don't know if I would say yes to that. I feel like
I'm curious to find out if it. I mean, like, Dunkey did a video one time where he was talking about, like, the importance of game mods and, like, PC releases, and he was talking about how, you know. Like, he was just, like, basically describing GoldenEye as, like, this absolute piece of shit game that's impossible to return to, but there's a mod that, like, lets you, you know, dual stick it, and it's, like, suddenly the game is fucking amazing. And, like, it makes you appreciate that, like, yeah, this was a great game. It's just that going back to these controls is so hard now that you would never want to play it.
I think that's really the main thrust, because at the end of the day, the game is designed around pointing a cursor and pulling a trigger over people's heads. So, like... it's not that the controls would change it so much as it would just make it more accessible and more like what you expect that kind of game to play as.
Yeah.
So.
But do you think that this game would be better if it had, like, like a reticule and, like, more modern control sensibilities, or do you think it should be the way it is?
I think it would probably play better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, it might, the difficulty curve would change. I don't know if it would become better or worse, but it would play differently, but I think it would just play better. I think there's a reason those things became standard, is because it just is the most natural way of controlling this kind of perspective with this kind of input method.
Yeah.
So I think overall it's probably a good idea.
Just because, like, watching you play this, like, I feel like these levels are not terribly, like, I feel like the game is designed around the fact that it is kind of hard to wrestle with the controls, because, like, the environments are not that, like, complicated, and the enemy encounters are not very complicated. Like, I think about this versus Halo, and, like, the challenge in Halo is in enemy variety and, like, using the layout of the level to your advantage and stuff, and, like, in this game, the challenge is aiming the fucking cursor at the guy, you know, like, before he runs at you and fucking kills you. It's
here's the thing, though. Like, it's challenging because I'm playing it, like, because I'm so used to aiming, like, I want to get headshots and stuff.
Yeah.
But the game is also designed that if I just put my gun relatively over them, they'll take body shots and stagger. So, like, it's actually better to play it that way. The only reason I'm doing a lot of headshots is because the zombies absorb so many hits.
Right.
So it would make the zombies encounters specifically in... Where is these fucking guys? In this level, it would be way
getting
easier.
your balls rocked by this guy.
I know, I'm getting fucking raped, dude. Like, holy shit.
That's really ludicrous.
And, like, this... The weird thing is that I steamrolled through this level last time I played it. Like, I didn't even realize it was supposed to be hard. But, like, I'm getting absolutely desecrated.
I mean, right there you lost, like, half your health in one go. I think maybe you're just not meant to get on the turret until you fucking killed that guy.
I guess. Oh, my God. I'm in hell right now. Like, this game... Like, thank God this game's fun to play. Because, like, normally at this point, I'd be, like... using racial slurs and screaming like a madman, like that I keep dying. But like everything about this is fun, and I'm really not doing well right now. Okay, all right. I guess I'm hitting hit with grenades. Cool. Okay, that's how we're gonna do this. I suppose. It's
really frustrating that, like, we know there's no med packs and no regenerating health. So when you get hit that many times this early in the level, it's kind of like, well, I guess I should just restart from the checkpoint.
I mean,
like,
I kind of should. Like, it's not even, you're not even wrong. Like, I should just restart right now.
It kind of, that's something that was, like, always contentious between Aaron and John on Game Grumps, is that John would, in games like this, he would just immediately, like, if he lost too many lives too early, he would throw all his lives away in a game, like, you know, just restart, because he's just like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to make it. And it's funny because that defeatist mindset is really the opposite of how you should play, just because of the fact that you will get better if you keep doing it. Like, there was this really interesting article I read once that was when I first was getting into games analysis, and, like, you know, before I did the whole MLP thing, when I was planning to just be a games analyst, like, one of the first things I read was this guy who was just an angry, bitter old fuck who mostly wrote garbage, but, like, he wrote this really interesting article about, like, the history of Japanese arcade gaming and how, like, in the Japanese arcade culture, they're all about the one coin completion.
Right.
And because generally Japanese arcades are very crowded, and, like, it is considered indecent to continue putting coins into the machine after you lose. You're meant to play until you lose and then get out of line so the next guy can play and go back into the line, you know? And it's also kind of frowned on to do it because let's say that you make it to level 2 in a shmup, and then you put in you die, you put in another quarter, you're still on level 2, but you are not likely going to make it to level 3, because your skill hasn't increased at all from the last time. Like, you just died, so why would you be any better now? You know, like 1 second later. Whereas if you were to play back from the beginning, analyzing, like, the difference in what you did, you know, from before, then you'll be better than the time before, and you'll probably make it farther. Not to mention, you'll get more bang for your buck because, like, you'll get that whole level again, you know? Like, as opposed to playing for a minute and a half, then dying, and then next you're only going to make it 30 seconds. It's like that coin will now take you that minute and a half and then another 30 seconds because you'll have gotten better, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like making the most out of each coin. But it's funny because it's also a different mindset towards gaming, because I feel like a lot of people feel, okay, I'm frustrated because I just want to make it to the next section. But making it to the next section is not inherently more valuable than just playing the section you already played, other than that it is new. But, like, you know, playing video games is a pointless waste of time. So you might as well treat it like a pointless waste of time and pointlessly waste your time on getting good instead of on just, you know, trying to pay your way to the next level, essentially, is kind of what his argument is, that. You know? So it was an interesting take, and after reading that, I started trying to do more like when I play fighting games on like arcade mode, like not using continues, just, you know, waiting it out and then playing my way all the way back through, because yeah, I'm gonna be better by the time I get to the boss or the enemy I was stuck on, you know. Anywho, let me go back to the chat here. There's some actual chat in here I can read.
My God.
Alright.
What do they have to say? The old chat. The
GoldenEye
old games.
GoldenEye is games out of 10 because it has crotch shots.
It does have crotch shots. That's very true. I like how games out of 10 is a thing. I appreciate that.
I was on a small German forum that had voting for best game. Some Shenmue fan group rated it and won the fucking vote. These guys were desperate. I wouldn't bank on a new TimeSplitters coming out. Fucking hundreds of games have fan bases that want revivals that just aren't happening. But no, you don't understand. They literally bought the IP just recently. Like, THQ Nordic has just, like, in August, purchased the rights to TimeSplitters and Second Sight. And I can't think of any reason they would do that unless they were going to make a new TimeSplitters and or Second Sight. So, I mean, it's possible they're
just covering their asses for something, but
gonna make it. I mean, and it's not like they took the development rights. Like, it's still, they're still having Crytek develop it, and Crytek, you know, contains this studio. What are they called?
Free Radical.
Free Radical. Free Radical is now just Crytek UK. So, so yeah. I mean, the game has changed publishing hands at this point 3 times. So, I don't think it affected the development of the third game, because the third game still is, like, considered the best in the series by a lot of people. So, point is, some series don't come back. F-Zero, Chibi Robo, Okami, Banjo-Kazooie. It's unlikely any of them are coming back. These are just off the top of my head. I mean, there's good reasons for each of those. Well, except F-Zero, there's no good reason. There's the stupid reason that Shigeru Miyamoto said, I haven't thought of anything new to do with it, so I don't want to do it.
That hasn't stopped them from making Mario games every year.
No. But they do something new with Mario every time, you know?
Nigga jumps on fucking Goombas.
You can't say that word on Twitch. Apparently. Okami's not going to get another game because it was made by Clover Studio, who became Platinum, and Capcom owns the rights. Yeah, and I don't think Okami Den was successful because it wasn't them, and nobody cares about it because it's not the same kind of game. So, yeah, there's no reason that would come back. And Banjo-Kazooie, it's because they made fucking nuts and bolts, and, like, you know, Rare was bought by Microsoft, and
they've literally desecrated the company and done nothing with any of the IP at all.
So, like, you know, it's not like they haven't come back for no reason. Devil May Cry is coming back in its original form.
Yeah, looks fucking great. It became a meme for me every E3. Like, this is the year. This is the year it's gonna happen.
I mean, Capcom is, like, the only one who's, like, starting to learn. Like, they're starting to get, like, you know, they're making Mega Man 11. They're making, imagine if Mega Man Legends 3 actually got, like greenlit.
Remember when it like did get greenlit and they ungreenlit it?
Yeah, I remember.
God, what a terrible world.
But I mean, at least it's not Konami, you know? Like, that's a whole other... That's
Konami's never...
another world.
I will never forgive them for making the Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko machine cutscene and just being the biggest cunts who ever cunted. Alright, where is this guy coming from that keeps killing me? This guy... doing his shit. Coming over here. Coming into your room.
Hideki Kamiya talked about how he watched other people play in the arcade to copy and learn new techniques. Yeah, that's how it's like... That's also addressed in this article this guy wrote. That, like, you know, you're meant to... You're meant to, like, if you fail, you're meant to, like, give up to the next guy because there's a chance they'll be better and you can learn something from them as well. Like, you know...
Getting shot again by dudes. Alright, this is bullshit. The fact that these guys keep coming... I'm not getting killed by the fucking helicopter. It's these guys just sniping me.
Yeah, it's kind of ludicrous that they can hurt you so badly while you're on the turret and
like I'm already almost dead
off
again.
The damn thing. I get on the turret now. So
I can't even move. I'm fucking.
Get money is what I do.
Come on. Die. Oh, it's out of fucking bullets. Are you kidding me?
There's the third turret down there.
But there's two guys.
Yeah, it seems like they typically spawn after you exhaust the bullets on a turret. I just think it's ludicrous there's no fucking med packs in this whole goddamn level. And you're meant to do all of it again if you fail. Alright, you almost got him. Get that fucker. Yeah.
Oh my god!
No, don't dare! Don't dare! Not now, not my boy! Oh,
I gotta go there. I just gotta go there. I just gotta go there. I am games!
It only took fucking
oh my god,
an hour and 45 minutes, but the
Jesus
level has been beaten.
I cannot believe that was such a cunty thing.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I bet it's because there was probably sound cues every time those guys spawn.
It could be that.
Okay. We did it, guys. We beat level 1 of TimeSplitters 2.
Maybe this is why How Long to Beat said that it was a 12.5-hour game.
That was with the game muted
because
time.
It's hard. Yeah.
I mean, I got pretty far in this game on my last
you got
playthrough.
A new character, Hybrid Mutant.
Yeah, it's for multiplayer. You can have like a bajillion skins. Okay, that was a thing. That was a thing that has happened. I guess we're going to Chicago. Did you want to jump back in, or do you want to just keep going as?
No, you can just keep going, man. I'm fucking awful at this game.
You're good at chat. All right.
This game looks like lame Doom. I think it's just because of the way you move. Like the movement feels like Doom, but nothing about the shooting feels like Doom at all.
No, it's very.
It's actually kind of weird because like why I was fucking up so badly in the beginning is because I was expecting it to feel like Doom, like because you run so fast and because it's like an old school shooter game. I was approaching it like, oh yeah, I'm fucking running around like Serious Sam, like fucking Painkiller or something, you know. But like no, it's really meant to be more of like a kind of slower, more contemplative type of game, but like
it's
the lack of a
transition. It's caught in the transition of just like moving from like modern first person games to like the classic ones, and so the conventions are a little mixed up. Like the facial expressions in this game are really good, like the movement and the emoting, and like
THQ Nordic has been buying up a bunch of rights for re-releases. I think the most reasonable assumption is a PC port. That would also be sick, and that would still make it worth talking about.
Yeah.
Because like, there's not necessarily a need to make a new game if you can just make the classic game.
If they have a PC port, we could play this game with mouse and keyboard and see how the gameplay is different with modern controls.
That would be fascinating. Have you played Dead Space? Dead Space 3 could be real fun to stream. Dead Space 3 is fucking terrible. And also, I hate Dead Space.
I'm not a huge fan of horror games in general, so.
It's not a horror game.
Well, Dead Space 3 isn't.
None of them are. Dead Space is a dumb game. It's a. So one of the lost Digibro videos of the last year, because for every big video I put out, there's like 10 big videos I gave up on halfway through. And one of those was a Lost Planet retrospective. I don't remember if I don't think I've talked about this anywhere really.
I think you talked to me about it, but not on the stream.
I've had like a couple of places where I like mentioned it, but I think it got cut out for whatever reason. Because I was gonna talk about it in my failing as fast as possible video, but I redid that video.
I'm getting shot by something.
You're fucking getting your ass kicked by this black guy.
I mean,
by which I mean guy in black.
Wow.
So I had played at one point before we moved here, sometime late last year, I think I had recently bought an Xbox 360. And it was fucking hilarious because it'd been like 5 years since I had an Xbox 360 because I had 3 of the fuckers red ring on me over the years, and I had like sworn off of it forever. I was like, I'm not gonna buy another one. But then eventually I did, because of course I still want to play back through gaming history, and they're only like $30 now, so I was like, fuck it, maybe 50, I don't know. But I bought a 360 thinking I could go back and play all the old 360 games I had, not realizing we had sold them all because we had promised to never get another 360. So we had literally like just Halo 3, I think, or Halo Reach, and that was like it. And I was like, well, so I bought like the Gears of War triple pack and The Last Remnant, which I haven't even attempted to play yet. And then I bought Lost Planet because it was like $5 somewhere, and I was like, I remember this game being kind of neat. I'm curious about it. It's only $5. I'm gonna give it another shot. And I played through it, and Lost Planet's really cool. I like it a lot. But the biggest thing that struck me about it is that it had a ton of, like, it should have had a sequel. Because, like, there's certain minor things about it that I felt like, man, if they just tweaked this and this, like, and if it was made with more modern capabilities, because it was like a launch title for the 360. So the game's only like 7 hours long. It's very arcadey, and a big part of it is that you have like a grappling hook system, and that you can like a lot of what the point of the game was to show up how like big and vertical the environments could be on this new technology. You know, that like you could climb up the side of a fucking snowy mountain and fight a gigantic boss, and it was like just bigger and better than anything seen at the time. But since then, things have gotten way the fuck bigger and way the fuck better. You know, like even within the 360's lifespan, like they could have done this game way the fuck bigger. And they don't really end up utilizing the grappling hook all that much. So I was like, man, it would have been so cool if they had expanded on this. But Lost Planet 2 and 3 are terrible. And for very different reasons. Because Lost Planet 2 feels like an honest attempt to make a sequel, except that they tried to make it a like online-focused co-op game. And they just didn't finish it. Like, it got rushed to completion, and it's fucking broken. Like, it's just obviously not play tested. They're like, the mechanics are all sound. It basically plays like the first game, but like retooled to be a co-op game. But like, it just so clearly needed like a few months of play testing because just the enemy balance is completely off. Certain levels are like insanely hard in between levels that are insanely easy. Just because like enemy placement is not thought out. There's way too much knockback when you get hit, and like it's a pain in the ass. And so it didn't review all that well. And then Lost Planet 3 is a fucking bizarre Mass Effect ripoff. Like in terms of its controls and like the way it performs. But it was made, okay, the first 2 games are made by Capcom. The third game was made by like some other bizarre developer who's never made a game that has a Metacritic score above 50. Like, what happened?
I was trying to kill his son.
Oh. So yeah, like basically the third game is like a joke. It has nothing to do with Lost Planet at all. It's a fucking completely different style of game, and I played like 5 hours of it.
I'm sure you killed him.
One of the worst games I've ever played. Like worse than Mass Effect Andromeda. Like it's that bad.
That's a tall order.
It's unbelievably bad. It's like, you know, it's like the Asterisk War of video games. Like, no redeeming qualities, everything pissed me off, every problem with modern games, and yet none of the positives of modern games at all, because it's also ugly and shitty and terrible. So I wanted to do, like, a retrospective on those 3 games, and, like, what I thought the potential of the first one was, how the second one didn't really deliver on that potential because it wasn't even trying to be the same type of game, and then the third one just is a total nightmare. And so I had always heard people compare them to Dead Space, because when Dead Space 3 came out, it was like the same time as Lost Planet 3, and everybody joked that Dead Space 3 was Lost Planet, because they set it on like a snow planet, and it became a co-op game. So I bought Dead Space 1 and 3, because all these games are like $5 now.
Right.
I played a little bit of Dead Space 3, and it was a fucking clusterfuck. Like, narratively, it just was like bouncing between locations and characters constantly. Everything was a set piece. It was basically like, here's a set piece, now walk down a hallway, here's another set piece, now you're a different character, here's a set piece, walk down this hallway, another set piece. You want to play a video game? There's no video game here. This is a movie, like on rails, you know? And I was like, well, this is fucking weird and incoherent. So then I tried Dead Space 1, and I played it for 2 hours, and I was like, this is boring. You move really slow. You just kind of do the same things over and over again. It's a lot of like, walk to this side of the room and press a button, then walk back to the other side of the room and press the next button, and then walk back to the original side of the room, and now the door's open. And like, just lots of that kind of just tedious, busy work to move through the levels. And you've constantly... The game is so like trying to convey this atmosphere of like you're alone on a ship, but you're constantly getting radioed by your fucking teammates, like telling you what to do. They're just like every 5 minutes, oh, you gotta fucking do the thing, and like, I don't feel alone, I don't feel lost, you know. It's kind of like how I have a big problem with Metroid Fusion for this reason, that like in Metroid Fusion, like, there is a stronger narrative element, which I appreciate, but, like, every time you enter a level, there's a computer that literally tells you where to go. It's just like, here's your objective, here's the context of why you're doing it, you gotta, and it's all very dryly written and boring, and, like, the other Metroid games just drop you on a fucking planet and you just figure it out. Like, they vaguely occasionally will give you like a destination marker that's just off in the blackness of space because you don't have map over there yet, you know. Right. You're just like, well, I guess I gotta head north, you know, and then you just solve it, and like that's the entire fun of the game. So with Fusion, it's like it just becomes an action adventure game with Metroid controls, and it's like, it's not what I come to Metroid for. It does have amazing controls though.
What am I getting hit by? There's nothing here. There's a guy way up here. Fuck. I can't see him. I'm getting killed. I'm just gonna ignore him, I guess.
Apparently, at one point, Okami 2 was literally in development by Platinum. Well, I don't know why it fell through.
Fuck. I can't.
That feel when no.hack, why even live? Dude, there kind of is. Because I fucking just saw at the store, they re-released the .hack GU games on the PS4, and they added like a volume 4 to it for that release. I don't know how like extensive it is, but it's kind of neat. I never played the GU games. I only played the first of the original quadrology. I always heard the GU games were better. I'm kind of curious about it, TBH. Opinions on Dragon Quest. What hear you perspective why you don't like Dragon Quest? I'm interested. I talk about it like kind of extensively on Pub Crawl. It's not out yet, but the next episode of Pub Crawl, it's either the next one or the one after that. I don't know how fucking far behind Cider is on the actual releases of Pub Crawl, because sometimes we'll record like 3 weeks in a row and he hasn't actually released any of them yet. But yeah, I talk about it on there, so I don't want to rehash it here. I just have to wait. How much did you like Nate's Smash videos? They're great.
I don't like this level. I don't know where to go. All looks very samey. I know I played this level before, so I know where I'm supposed to go. I just don't know where the fuck it is because everything looks identical. I'm getting turned around constantly.
Pachinko is the future, dude. Evangelion made more money with selling pachinko machines than with all of the other sources of revenue combined.
Pachinko makes more money than the car industry in Japan.
That's fucking nuts. Pachinko is huge.
That's just a sign that the Japanese are
gambling addicts.
Fucked up. And we need to hashtag finish the job.
As I pointed out in my video on Hideaki Anno, there are 3 Evangelion Pachinko Nintendo DS games. Think about that. Put that in your pipe and contemplate it.
Oh god, that was a guy with a gun. Fuck.
Every time you talk about how you were going to talk about Lost Planet, I saw. Now, there's a series more people should talk about. I should, man. I still have all the footage I took for the video, but, like...
I didn't get a single checkpoint.
I'd probably have to replay.
Oh, my God. This is a pretty brutal game, dude.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being this hard from, like, 2 months ago, but... Because, like, I remember steamrolling everything up until the stealth level, which pissed me off. But this game is... Maybe it's, like... I'm in such close proximity to you, I'm becoming less games. Is that possible? Maybe it's possible. Oh my god. Maybe it is. Alright. Well, shit. We're not gonna get very far, I feel.
People talking about, I'm just like scrolling back through all the stuff that was talked about. I really, I think it's possible I could do, like, depending on the way things go with I Am Games, because the channel is so new that we really have no idea what exactly it's going to be yet, because at this stage, it's most important that we grow it, because literally working on this channel means, you know, taking time away from what we could be doing on our main channels. And so, like, even if an I Am Games video gets, like, pretty decent views, it's like, is it worth spending the amount of time that I would spend on this on as opposed to working on main channel videos? You know, not that I have, like, any ideas for main channel videos at the moment, because there's nothing really happening in anime that I'm, like, excited to talk about yet. But, like, you know, when the time comes, when the current season's over and I've got shows I want to talk about and shit, you know, it's going to be a question, hey, do we want to do 10 hours of live streaming and then a whole written analysis video on a video game this week? Or is there more pressing matters? But, like, I'm really excited about this channel, and there's tons of shit I'd love to talk about with video games. But, like, making a Lost Planet video right now would not be probably as wise as making a video about something that people care about. Even TIMESPLITTERS, like, even I have a weird feeling that, like, this is a game that, in spite of not necessarily being relevant right now, like, would be relevant if we talked about it, you know?
Yeah.
Granted, I wish our channel was bigger before we did that, but frankly, there's not a super relevant game right now that we are interested in talking about. We already covered Spider-Man, and that was, like, the one we had, and there's a bunch of shit coming out later this year that we're excited about. But, you know, gotta wait a few weeks. What was coming out on October 4th?
Not Soul Calibur, right?
Soul Calibur's coming out on the 17th of next month. There's a game coming out even earlier in October that I remember. Oh, the Fist of the North Star game. That's right. I'm pretty interested in that.
Mark on point.
Digi, could your game developing friend that lives with you have a lot to talk about your game developing friend who's currently writing a PhD on video games? I've mentioned that to him, that he could talk to Cider about games. Cider's a pretty busy guy right now since he's trying to finish his PhD though and work on his own games. But he could definitely help you with if you needed information about like, especially if you need to know stuff about like what engines to use and shit. He could definitely help you with that because he's studied engines pretty extensively, I think.
I'd be down. Be down to talk for sure. Maybe you can tell me how to not die in this game.
Real talk, Digi. Honest to God, I'm not certain that channel splits are great for the algorithm. Is it blasphemous to say that I Am Games would probably be more successful on the Digibro channel? The reason that I don't want it to be on the Digibro channel is that it's not my enterprise, and I don't want it to be like, I don't want to be the administrator of it necessarily. It is a joint venture. Like, it's its own, like, if say there were a month where I had no interest in working on I Am Games at all, Tom could still be working on I Am Games. I think that the potential for a games channel's viewership is way higher than my channel's viewership. Like, the highest I can imagine the Digibro channel ever getting as an anime channel is like 1 million subscribers. And that would be hard fought because like there are more normie, you know, game or anime channels that are only at that much. That like there's no anime channel that's broken 2 million subs as far as I know. And like the only reason I would be able to reach that level would not be because like it would have to be because like I made a shitload of SAO videos that people really loved and were really funny. You know, like it wouldn't be because there were 2 million anime fans who see anime the way I do. It would be because I was making a style of video that had a broader appeal than my central audience. But like, I Am Games, the sky is the limit when it comes to video games. Like, it could be as big as it could be. If I was working on it by myself, then yes, I would just put these videos on Digibro. Like, no question. But to grow it on its own, like, I don't want the gamers who I want to subscribe to be scared away by the anime content, you know? I don't even want them to be scared away by my own voice. That's why I have Tom voice the scripts, because, like, as every comment on the video can corroborate, his voice is better suited to games content, just naturally. So, like, you know, I just want to... I want the channel to have lots of experimentation and variety in its stylistic presentation as well. Like, it's not just going to be heady analytical videos.
Yeah, like, there's a bunch of videos that we've been talking about doing.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm working on a video on Doom right now, which I may or may not...
Oh, have you started working on that?
I've started writing it, so that's
shit.
something.
I didn't even know you'd started on
I started writing a video on Splatoon, which I don't think I can finish because I don't have Nintendo Online, and my Switch won't connect to your fucking Wi-Fi anymore, which is weird. I was talking about doing that series Game Fap, where it's just like a 2 or 3 minute thing where I just gush about a game that I really like. We were talking about doing like console mod videos and stuff because I want to mod my Xbox and shit. So
and also, I mean, we already did this experimental conversation video, which is
just came out
very
today.
different. You know,
people seem to like that. So
yeah, so like and I've also talked about the possibility of incorporating more people into the channel. That like it doesn't have to just be me and Tom, you know, do live streams and discuss games. If there's more people who can interact with it. So like, I really want it to feel like, you know, to feel like its own self-sufficient machine that is not really related to me. Like, I want to be considered a background character in this machine, you know, like, and it has potential to be like extremely lucrative at a rate where even if 3 people were working on it and splitting all the pay, it could still be lucrative because there's also like t-shirt tie-ins and all that stuff that, like, you know, it has alt revenue sources related to it. The Twitch revenue, you know, if the Twitch blew up if the channel blows up, the Twitch has potential to blow up, especially if we advertise the Twitch in all the videos. So like, you know, we have not even really scratched the surface of what can be done with the channel. And, like, so far, it's doing good. Like, it's doing basically what I would have projected. You know, the Spider-Man video got first of all, we had 1,000 subscribers before we'd even fucking talked about it in any way other than Twitter and Twitch. Like, so that was exciting. The videos got decent views even before I advertised them on the main channel, and then when I did advertise them, the subscriber and view counts doubled, and that's like about what I would have expected. So as long as it can keep growing by each new video continuing to reach all of the channel subscribers and get shared in the same natural growth way that any other channel does, we have a good foot in the door, you know? It's just a matter of, can we grow it fast enough for it to be like profitable in the short term, because it has to be. You know, it can't take 6 months to turn a profit with us putting a lot of work into it, because then that would take too much time away from our other ventures. You know, Tom's got a game to make. I've got other channels to run. Anyway, I'm sorry I always end up going down these fucking rabbit holes of what the channel is supposed to be, but...
Well, I mean, the people want to know, man.
Yeah, it's just there is so much strategy put into it that it's interesting to talk about. Yeah. You know?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think honesty is the best policy. And, like, the more we can get people to, like, get it off the ground, the more time we can dedicate to it.
Right. And so, it's also that, like, the approach of the I Am Games channel is as a business venture. It was like... Because the way I've approached my content up until now has always been... just do whatever I want and try to make it profitable somehow. And now I'm kind of where, like, I just want to make stuff people like and they give me money for it, you know, like, and it has to be stuff people like. So, you know, what people like is not boring, drivel, monotonous content. I just want to give them a games channel that I think people will be excited about. And that's why I want to put so much effort into talking about games that people legitimately want to hear about, and like that we have something unique to say about, because there's lots of games that would have been good to talk about when they came out, but at this point, like, too much time has passed and too much has already been said about them. So our options are basically either new games while they're relevant and while we can be, you know, an early voice in the game. And like, it doesn't even have to be like within the first week like it was with Spider-Man. Like, let's say that what's a game that's coming out that you're looking for? Devil May Cry 5 comes out, right? Like, we don't have to put out a video in the first week. We could, and then do another one like a month later.
I'll do a game fap on that like the first day. I'd be like, it's the best thing ever.
But like the important thing is just that we're a part of the conversation while it's happening. Because if we wait 6 months and 5 other people make 30-minute analysis videos, and then we do a 30-minute analysis video, people will be like, well, 5 other people already did this. You didn't say anything new, you know? So like... So what I want to tackle is either games that are fairly new and haven't been discussed to death, or ones that are older that didn't get their due. And this is an example of that, of like, you know, a beloved game that hasn't really had, hasn't had its due on the internet in the current era of games talk. Anyway. Fist of North Star looks like shit. It's made by the people who make Yakuza, which I love, but don't like the combat of Fist of North Star when I played the Japanese demo. The combat looked cool in a video I watched, but I was concerned that the game would be like... Because it's like Yakuza combat, which is pretty repetitive and not like something I would want to be doing non-stop for the entire game. And I'm like, what else will this game be other than beating people up? Also, the boss fights looked really bad from what I saw. But not every game we talk about has to be necessarily great. It has to be something people want to hear about.
I have no idea what to do. I'm totally fucking stuck. Fuck. I thought there was like a point in here where you had to like use a sniper rifle out the window, but maybe I'm making that up. I remember at one point you get ambushed by a window on this level. Because I thought you did.
Zargi says, all the Nerd Writer clones are bad, but what's the worst modern era analysis video you've seen? My vote would have to go to Mark Brown's Cuphead video, where he literally explains the most basic shit about a running gun platformer works and treats it like it's some sort of revelation. It's almost a parody from what I remember. I definitely got bored of Mark Brown because he was so Nerd Writer-like and just, you know, just like makes a video every week, regardless of if he has anything interesting to say.
Gotta play the game, unfortunately.
But the worst modern analysis video. I don't know.
There's a lot of contenders.
Yeah, like they're all pretty much the same. Is the problem? Like, it's not that like. Anytime you watch one and you just come away like, really? You had to make a video about that? You know, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of bad ones. Maybe actually we were talking about, or I was telling you about this earlier, and I'm not going to say this is the worst or anything, but there's a guy named Clemps who's a games critic, and he had this series on Drakengard. And I kind of watched it hoping to get, like, an analysis, like, because it was called, like, Drakengard Analysis or something like that. And I was hoping that it was going to, like, explain, like, what is the appeal of the game and, like, what is the point of the story. But it was literally just, like, describing the game all the way through for, like, 45 minutes. Just, like, you know, like, point for point, here's what happens in the story, here's what happens in the gameplay. But, like, and maybe some comments on whether it is good or bad or confusing or not, but like no real dive into what it all means or what is the appeal of it, you know. And I was kind of like, well, like I feel like I just could have played the game and gotten a lot more out of it than this video. Mod OG Xbox, sick, would watch a lot, love content on games hardware. Cool.
I've wanted to start a 3D channel where I talk a lot about game consoles and their different like things, like the eccentricities of the hardware, like how the PlayStation 1 has like vertex integer things where like the reason the game's all like shaky and stuff with the polygons is that it doesn't allow for the vertices that make up the polygons go to any position on the screen that isn't a whole number. So that's why when characters move, they kind of like wobble around because like the points have to be on whole numbers and stuff, and it's like really weird, but like that's just the way it's done.
I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying at first, and when I started, I was really confused. What are you talking about?
You know how like in early PS1 games, how like all the character models kind of like wobble?
Oh yeah, and like the entire fucking screen as well sometimes.
Yeah. It's because it does.
That shit drives me insane.
Yeah, and I always wondered why it did that because it never really made any sense to me. At first, I thought it was because just the resolution of the PS1 is so low; it's only 320 by 240. But it's apparently because the vertices, like graphics are made up of polygons, like these are all polygons, so just like 2D shapes put together in 3D configurations. Then each polygon is made of what's called a vertex or a vertice. It's like the point that connects those lines that make the shape. And for the PS1, it can't place vertices in fractions of a number. Like they have to be at like location 1 or location 2. So when the character moves, they can't smoothly interpolate between those locations. It has to snap to those locations.
That's fucking bizarre. And like that's like one of the hardest things for me about playing certain PS1 games. Like ones that have that really hardcore, like Vagrant Story has like the game is constantly warbling, and Threads of Fate, which is a game I want to play, but it also has that issue. But Hippo insists that he loves that shit. He's like, that's my favorite part.
There is definitely people who are nostalgic for that aesthetic, and I don't hate it, but it always bothered me. I'm just like, it's something that I'm nostalgic for, and like, oh, I remember that, but not in a good way. Just like, oh yeah, that was a thing. And I still have no fucking idea where to go. I have TNT. I don't know what to blow up. There's like a safe, but I can't do anything with it. I thought maybe I'd use the TNT to blow up the safe and get in there so I can get like the taxi cab thing so I can get into the fucking... Oh, god damn, dude. Like, I feel like sound is making this game unplayable. Like, I really... Because like the way the encounters work is that when someone shoots you, they almost always miss the first time to give you to let you know that you're being attacked. So I don't hear that. So the way I find out an enemy's near me is I get fucking shot. And I think that's why we're taking so much damage. Is that the audio cues that let you know what's going on are not applicable.
Well, we don't necessarily have to play through this whole game on stream to do a video about it. So maybe we'll
I mean, I could put in my actual memory card to get back my save file where I'm already halfway through the game.
That too. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, no one's gonna hold us to streaming the entire game to talk about it, I don't think.
I'd almost be more interested in streaming Future Perfect because I've never played that, and that would be more fun to play on stream. Plus, it's also more modern in terms of like how it works. That guy is fucking dead.
Is Tom more hyped for Doom Eternal or DMC5?
DMC5. I mean, you gotta like. It's funny. Someone in the comments for the new DMC trailer was like making some joke. He's like, "Thanks, Obama," and then I'm just like, Obama was in office when the last Devil May Cry came out. Like, that's how long it's been. It's 2008. So
Obama was in office not that long ago. Obama's only been out of office for 2 years.
But like, he was like was in office. He got elected in 2008.
Inaugurated is the word you're looking for. I actually do remember that came out around the same time as the inauguration. It was like the same month. I'm bored of streaming now. We should stop.
Oh, I found where the dynamite
goes. Because it sounds like you don't want to have to play this on this. Like, look at how much health you just lost. You're fucked.
Yeah. I don't know why it let me put the dynamite down there if it didn't do anything. Now I just don't have it anymore. Okay. Alright. I guess we're done. I'm done.
Alright, everybody. That's it for this I Am Games live stream. Catch it on the channel later. And don't expect us to live stream this game again because we can't have any fucking sound.
Yeah, we definitely... Either we figure that out or we just don't do it.
Yeah, we probably... I mean, we might still cover this game. And we might play the third one just for shits and giggles because I heard the controls are different from you just earlier. But, yeah, this game seems like sound cues are, like, dramatically important.
Yeah, but the fact that I was able to play it for like 3 hours, even though I didn't have sound cues, speaks to how it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun time. It's definitely interesting.
Be the games you want to see.